We start the news from the Ashanti region, and the police at Ejura in the Ashanti region, they say they are intensifying patrols despite armed robbery attacks which have left a commercial driver dead and a police officer severely wounded. Ejura Dumase Municipal Commander, Chief Superintendent Richard Kumeko, tells JoyNews that persistent robberies and other crimes in the area would require more resources to effectively combat them. He also believes the public could be of immense help in tracking down perpetrators. Mahmoud Muhammad Nuruddin brings us the latest.
Attacks by robbers along the Kumasi-Ejura-Atebubuyeji road remains a long-standing challenge. However, recently the area has recorded more armed robbery attacks. The assailants target passengers traveling along the corridor. At about 7:30 p.m. on Sunday, armed men ambushed vehicles on the Ejura-Aframso, shot a driver dead and robbed passengers of money and other properties. Idris Abdul Hamid, the driver of the vehicle, was said to have ignored an order by the robbers to stop.
What I heard from those that there was that, in fact, he was struggling with them. He was driving, so they are stopping him. I hope he was struggling. He was, struggling to pass. In fact, he didn't stop, and finally, they have seen that he was not able to stop. That's why they shot him.
So I was in a village when I was informed that my uncle had an incident between armed robbers, and so I just came and I saw that he's not alive again. That was what I also witnessed. Okay, I feel pity.
Police had a distress call and dispatched men to the scene. The police said the gunmen opened fire on them when they arrived on the scene.
The robbers were in the bush, so they just fired. And the pellet hit one of our policemen onto the face. So we have injury at the face and the head.
Chief Superintendent Kumeko says police had to use a commercial vehicle because their official vehicle had broken down.
Our car had a problem, so according to the leader of the team, said that one of the Shanyon car that the driver voluntarily give it to them to send to the scene. So that's what they use to the scene, and that thing happened.
JoyNews checks reveal 4 police patrol vehicles have broken down. Despite the challenges, the police have assured residents and passengers their commitment to keep them safe. At the time of filing this report, families of the deceased driver were working with the Mampong Hospital authorities to release the body for burial.
Inadequate staff accommodation and transportation are also among major challenges confronting the Edujemfi Senior High School at Jamase in the Ashanti region. Out of the over 200 teaching and non-teaching staff in the school, for example, only 26 reside on campus, while majority of them travel over 80 kilometers each day from Kumasi to school and back. Headmaster Dr. Bekun Echampong says the situation is taking a toll on academic and extracurricular activities, as well as the ability to monitor students. She was speaking at the school's 50th anniversary celebration.
While touting the school's sporting prowess, Dr. Echampong expressed worry about declining academic standards. He spelled out measures to reverse the trend.
Academic performance is not the best as we expect of this school. The school has recorded a decline in the rate of qualifying for the tertiary institutions. Measures have been put in place to halt this decline and improve on the rates with the introduction of some policies, including morning classes for students, in-service training for staff. This requires the support of all stakeholders and it is my hope that this needed support would be given.
Dr. Bekwe Champon also wants the school's ICT laboratory expanded. He expressed concern over inadequate teachers' bungalows, which he says has negatively affected teaching and learning.
The school needs a big capacity bus to convey our students to partake in educational ventures, educational trips, and to pursue our participation in sports and other co-curricular activities. The school needs at least 2 24-seater modern toilets. There is inadequate staff accommodation, compelling most of our staff to commute to school every day from neighboring towns, which negatively affect academic work. Mr. Chairman, only 26 out of the over 200 staff are resident on campus.
Board chairman of such a rural bank, Francis Dente, himself an old student, was guest speaker. He encouraged teachers to explore modern ways of building human capital.
The future, dear teachers, in view of the changing times, which are characterized by dynamism in information and communication technology, I encourage you to up your game and make sure that you do not only impart knowledge, but also impart requisite skills and good values in our youth in order to build the needed human capital which can stand the test of the current and future challenging world that we live in.
Reporting for JoyNews, Kwesi Deborah.
Well, back here in Accra, the vice chairman of the NDC Congress Planning Committee, Alex Segbafia, says the party will later today take a decision on complaints by one of the aspirants of the just ended Delegates Congress, Edu Asari, whose name was changed on the ballot paper to Justice Yabua. Mr. Edu Asari was vying for the position of Deputy General Secretary for the party, but his spokesperson, Delasi John Ama, explains all calls for the mistake to be rectified fell on deaf ears. His team has vowed to seek redress in the courts if the matter is not handled properly by the party. Mr. Alex Segbafia says the party will ultimately ensure he is duly compensated after his investigations into the matter. He spoke on PM Express Monday night.
At that time, one's hands were tied. It was going to be very difficult to begin to tamper with the ballot paper itself as it was. The only thing I know was that one of the things that was asked was that he should hold fire, and I give him credit. I mean, bearing in mind what goes into contests.
Definitely.
And the kind of difficulties aspirants have, it takes a lot of patience and a lot of decorum to hold one's self back from sometimes behaving in a way which would be deemed ungentlemanly. He was a perfect gentleman. He wasn't happy, shouldn't have been. We as a planning committee are meeting for the first time tomorrow after the event. Okay. And then we will actually go through and find out what the process is. Because as a planning committee, our position, we were there to plan the election. The elections and the process is actually technically over. So we now have to do our reports and then hand it over to the Functional Executive Committee.
Right.
The Functional Executive will then be seized of all the issues that have arisen and will deal with those issues.
Okay.
So I suspect, and I may be wrong, but I suspect that part of our report will include this issue. Okay. And then once it's given to FEC, the Functional Executive Committee will then delve into it and look at it. They would immediately have to look at a committee or a group of people who look into it, which does not involve any of the aspirants in that particular segment. Right. Because the decision that may come out may affect everybody. So in that regard, it will be looked at by people independent of that position.
Mr. Segbafia has also been justifying why former President John Dramani Mahama, who is also one of the flag-bearer hopefuls of the NDC, was given the opportunity to speak with delegates and not the others who were also aspiring for same position.
You have a former president attending, showing an interest to turn, a former leader showing an interest to attend a closing ceremony of this thing. You don't say that because he's an aspirant, he sits in the third row.
But it's a delegates' congress.
Wait. And I say, we are marketing the party. We cannot put our best people back. Now, there's another aspect to all this.
So John Mahama is your best bet?
No, I'm not saying. Look, what?
Okay, if
so
you say you want your
Mahama,
best people to be in front,
yes,
doesn't mean
but
that
no, I want to address the
aspirant. I
want to address the aspirant issue. It is new to our system, and it was done for a particular reason.
Okay.
It was said by the party, anybody who is interested in contesting the flag bearership, let us know formally. Why was that done? So that if you are going around, the party can tell people that this is somebody who is showing an interest, so give them audience.
Okay.
But none of them at this stage are contestants.
Okay.
Because no filing form has been put out for anybody to pick. There are how many now?
13.
13. Let them put down the filing fee to contest.
Has Mahama paid
and
the
let
filing
us see.
fee?
It hasn't yet been decided.
Okay, so then they are all in the same ship.
They are all in the same boat, but yet, technically, none of them is a contestant.
But John Mahama is already campaigning out there.
All of them are campaigning.
Okay.
But it does not mean that they will not pull out at a certain stage.
So you suspect that some of them will pull out?
Some of them are going to pull out.
Oh, the likes of who?
Let us wait and see. I'm making my prediction. If they put the filing fee down and say, pay this amount and come and pick the form, let's see whether
The Metropolitan Chief Executive of Accra, Mohammed Ejei-Sowa, has cautioned motorists and pedestrians to obey motor traffic regulations as the festive season approaches, all in a bid to reduce accidents drastically across the city. According to him, as Christmas draws closer, motorists would have to be cautious on the road. He was speaking at the World Day for Remembrance of Road Traffic Victims. Henry Kwesi Bedu is more in the following report.
The World Day of Remembrance of Road Traffic Victims is commemorated on the third Sunday of November each year to remember the many millions killed and injured in road crashes. The Accra Metropolitan Assembly, in collaboration with the MTTD and Road Safety Commission, marked the day by visiting accident victims at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital. Delivering the keynote address at the event, the Mayor of Accra, Mohammed Ejei-Sowa, said the AMA is implementing policies to reduce fatalities on roads in Accra.
Formation of a task force to intensify enforcement of the 4 risk factors under the Bloomberg Philanthropies Initiative for Global Road Safety, which are helmet use, seatbelt and child restraint non-use, drink driving, and speeding, to reduce fatalities on our roads.
It is not just somebody also driving. It is also the way the roads are even designed, whether it's user-friendly or not. Whether the roads that design also have pedestrian walkway where pedestrians will also walk on. Whether our traffic signals are also working 24/7. Whether the police are also doing this. So it's a cross-sectorial, and that's why we have a road traffic council that involves the urban roads, it involves the MTTD, it involves the Road Safety Commission. So all the major stakeholders that are involved are part of the drive to make sure that we sink in our subconsciousness the culture and attitude of safety.
A neurosurgeon at the Accra Regional Hospital, Dr. Emmanuel Vado, expressed worry at the number of deaths involving motorbike riders in Ghana.
If they can buy motorbike professional uniforms, they should buy it, okay, so that the impact will be less when they have the accident. It is very important because our youth who will take care of us tomorrow are dying, and we want to advocate so that we can prevent the accidents.
Motorbike accidents are a reality and victims always have regrets. During the visit, the team came across a victim who shared his story.
They should stay cautious, obey the rules on the roads, no jumping off lights, no unnecessary speeding, and also to the drivers, I also want them to also cautiously look out for motor riders when they are moving, because sometimes they are heading in the blind side, maybe when they are switching lanes and all that. So
the director of Accra Regional Hospital, Dr. Osei Ankra, appealed to the government to set up a separate fund to help accident victims.
The point we are making is that as a city, we need to put aside a fund. Much as we are trying to prevent road traffic accident, we know that we are not yet in a place where we can say that yes, accidents will come to zero. They will happen, even though we want to minimize them. But there must be a fund that can support the care in order to minimize the casualties.
Assistant Commissioner of Ghana Police Service, Anderson Fosu Aka, warned motorists they would be punished if they defy the road traffic laws.
People who recklessly walk on the road, they cross at any time that they wish. They don't use the approved route like the zebra crossing, the footbridges. So we are going to enforce that one also to reduce the knockdowns and pedestrian accidents. So people are also, especially drivers, are also being warned that nobody will be spared the road if they go contrary to the law.
The AMA donated items to the accident victims at the Accra Regional Hospital. Henry Kwesi Bedu's report for Joy News.
And that's it for the latest news update. We have more news. We'll review the newspapers, look at myjawline.com, and possibly look at the BBC if we can. Please stay with us, but do get interactive. We're taking a break. When we come back, we have all these for you.